Hi everyone, it's Chrissy from Footprint Tarot here. As you would have seen from the opening, I have sent an email to both our Prime Minister and our opposition leader, and I will probably forward it to the leader of the Greens or whoever else. I'll see who else I can forward it to, asking that both houses of Parliament in Australia censor Trump on his use of racist rhetoric, because of the, and on the, basically that. Another shooting, another beautiful city plunged into mourning and chaos and terror by a 21-year-old young man, allegedly. The alleged shooter is a 21-year-old young man who had posted a manifesto heavily influenced by Trump's rhetoric, especially with regard to invasion and things. And so far 20 people have been confirmed dead and another 26 in hospital are injured. Thoughts and prayers, of course, never go astray, but I'm also going to ask everyone who watches this to send out a burst of positive, loving, healing energy to those people and to the people who were affected by the other two mass shootings in the US this week. I'm really sorry, off the top of my head, I don't know where they are. I just know there were another two. I was aware of one other one, but not the other one. So I'm going to have a look. I'm going to ask a very simple question. Are these shootings going to end? These race-inspired shootings, are they going to end? Is there going to be an end to them? And if so, and will gun laws in America be changed? So two pretty simple questions. And I'm sure, look, there's no way I'm going to be answering it in 20 minutes, those questions. They're simple questions, but they're complex answers. So please bear with me as I work through the cards. The first question is, one is hopefully so much simpler to be answered. Is, are they going to end? Are they going to end? Are they going to come to an end? Is this period of domestic terrorism that the US and going to end? And there have been bouts of domestic terrorism in other countries around the world. I saw Cory Booker saying it was a uniquely American problem. The scale of it is a uniquely American problem, but unfortunately, as it's been proven in New Zealand and over in Norway a few years ago and other places, Paris, India, these sorts of things do happen all over the world. But the scale of it, yes, I have to say that is a uniquely American problem, and it's just been accelerated probably tenfold now, in my opinion, by Trump's rhetoric. So let's have a look. Are these shootings going to end? Sorry, I'm going to do a Celtic cross, okay? So I'm just using the Rider-Waite cards. Situation. Let's have a look on the bottom of the deck. Knight of Wands. Someone's going to come in and take action. It could be a single individual, it could be a group of people. I'm hoping it is a group of people who come in and take action. So I'm just hovering for just a minute. I like to have my guides there just in case I because I'll use a number of spreads and, we go. So the situation is the shootings. This is the magician. This is not saying they're going to magically stop. This is not saying that they started by magic. This is saying that America has all the tools it needs to solve this problem. And that if it's done right, the disenfranchised can be connected to the rest of the country. A lot of the people who do this, they feel disenfranchised. Middle-aged people and all, part of the problem is they feel disenfranchised, so they have to be reconnected to the country as a whole, to what America is as a whole. But America, the people in power, they have all the tools that they need to solve this problem. The challenge. The challenge to solving this problem, the challenge to stopping this, is to stop people spewing vitriolic, and I'm not just pointing to Donald Trump here, I'm pointing to the white nationalists, and to get through to them that the conflict that they want to start is not going to make the America they want. It's going to destroy America if they don't stop it. And getting that message through to them is a challenge. And it's an even bigger challenge when there are people in positions of power, especially a person in the position of ultimate power in the country, who revels in this and the chaos he makes. The basis of this reading, of course, is people turning their backs and walking away. What are they walking away from? They're walking away from the values and the history of openness and welcomeness and inclusion that has made America the multicultural system country it is. They're walking away from the fact that, and they're turning their back on simple facts. It's not immigrants who have taken their jobs. It's not immigrants who have done this, and it's not immigrants who have done that. A lot of it's corporate America has taken their jobs. And also a lot of them have been damaged quite early, and rather than face some very hard truths that maybe what is wrong in their lives has maybe started in their very own households with actions from members of their own families, they'd rather take the easier way out and blame the immigrant family down the street. This is people turning their back on the truth, trying to run away from it, and just wanting, this is the moon, or an eclipse, either a lunar or solar eclipse happening here, and they just want to be able to just have all the facts just disappear, the real facts. They're turning their back on the truth, and they're not looking at what the real cause of the problem is, because it's easier for them to blame the immigrant family down the street than it is to blame the people who should be blamed. The past, heartbreak. These shootings, they have just caused heartbreak, not just in the US but around the world. I have a niece. She's an Australian. Last I knew, she was a US resident, not a citizen. She might be a citizen by now. I'll have to check with her. But she lives in North Carolina, and I get terrified for for herself, for her husband, for her 2 little children. It's terrifying to think. And that's one of the reasons I thought, well, stop sitting here going, oh, I can do this, sitting on the other side of the country, relatively safe from this, but you never are. That's why I sent those emails, and I sent them this morning. It's like, it's not enough for me to read cards on this and say that's enough action for me to take. No, it's not. So I've started taking action. The present. Everybody is feeling trapped. Everybody is feeling like they're in some sort. They're feeling like their homes are becoming jails because they're terrified to step out of them and even go to the shops. And a lot of these people were killed in Walmart, for Christ's sake. It's like their homes are becoming their prisons. And it just, yeah. So this is the present situation. The near future. People are going to have to stop focusing on what hasn't worked and start looking at things that will work. And they're not going to like the things that will work, but they have to start accepting it. And this is people in power as well as constituents. Okay, I'm not going to make a comment on the gun culture in America. I don't live there. I don't, as I said before, I have a faint idea of what the Second Amendment was all about, but I'm not a history. I haven't done a study of it. So, but they're going to have to, all this stuff hasn't worked. They're going to have to start looking at the stuff that they know will work, but they don't want to do because they fear it's going to cost them votes and money, donations. What is the strength of this situation? Are they going to stop? America doesn't have any strength at the moment. They're just tired out. It's just been shooting after shooting after shooting after shooting after shooting. They're just praying for it to end. The strength of prayers, maybe, but prayers are not going to be enough. Write to your member. Write to the office of the president, whoever he ignores it or not. Write to your state Congress, your state rep and your state senator and your state governor and then your federal rep and your federal senator and so on and so forth. Okay? Strength in numbers will overcome this, but will overcome this wanting to lie down and die and just let it happen. People are getting tired of this, and I think that's a strength. So they want to see this ending. So that is a strength. If enough people get up and say that, it can help this end. Hope external. What others see? Others just see, those of us outside of America, we just see a country that is plagued by the devil with gun laws, by devilish gun laws that allow these things to happen. Look, a gun law is, if someone goes out and shoots up a whole heap of people, that's their choice to do it. But the gun laws and the adoration of the gun culture and the power of arms manufacturers in the US with regard to funding politicians, etc., etc., it all adds up into one big devil that has America chained to it. That's what we see from the outside. The whole gun lobby, gun manufacturer, gun culture. It's all a big devil that's got America chained to it. Hopes and fears. The hopes are that enough support is going to be able to be generated, that it can be stopped. These things can be stopped. The fear is that it's not. And this isn't the lawmakers who are going to have to face up. Well, they do too, but it's also the everyday American who's brought up with a gun and whose gun culture's been a part of their life. I understand Texas is an open carry state. They're going to have to start saying, no, we can't have this anymore. We're going to have to accept this. Excuse me for a moment, please. Okay, back to this reading. Now, the final outcome with are these mass shootings going to stop? Page of Swords. New laws are going to come in. This is new laws, so they are going to be introduced, which sort of answers my second question, is what are they going to do? We're going to need more. Are these mass shootings going to stop? I think it's going to become a lot harder to get a gun license. I think they're going to have to do a lot more. People's details are going to be checked into like they've never been checked into before. They're going to have to go through a morass of paperwork. Looks like some stability is going to be reintroduced into the country. And a new narrative is going to open up. Look, I'm not getting that these mass shootings are going to stop, but I am getting new stability, so maybe there'll be less of them. There's going to be a new narrative opening up. There's going to be new laws introduced. There's going to be so much more scrutiny put on people. So I'm going to get a different deck here, the Blunt Truth deck, and I'm going to ask again, are these mass shootings associated with white nationalism and the rhetoric, I guess? Unfortunately, there's always going to be people who feel the only way that they can solve their problems is to do something like this. But it's this rash of mass shooting associated with this vile and vitriolic rhetoric that is coming from people in authority, shall we put it. Is that going to stop? Nine of Cups. People want it to stop. Seven of Swords. Nine of Swords. Anxiety. No. Nine of Cups. I think eventually it will. I do think that eventually they will stop. Okay? I think eventually they will stop. But in the immediate future, there's just going to be still a whole heap of anxiety over what's going on. And this is getting away with stuff. They're going to continue to think they can get away with it as long as the people in power keep saying that crap. I really hope there's not going to be any more. I think it will stop eventually, but in the near future, there could be danger of more. People are certainly going to feel anxious about that, because these are minor arcana. They indicate a nearer timeline rather than a final one. But eventually, and hopefully not too far down the track, this rash of shooting or domestic terrorist actions will stop. Four of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Four of Wands. I've got another layer here that are all yes cards by the looks of it. No, there's a no card, a yes card, and a yes card. Money and interest are going to try and hang on to the gun culture and keep it as it is. But there is going to be some celebration. This is celebration and homecoming card. Celebration of things being won and resourcefulness. This is the resourcefulness of Americans, I think. You're still in for a bit of a rocky road. I sincerely hope no other mass shootings happen that are associated or linked in any way to this rhetoric that's happening. But there's still a very, very anxious time ahead for the US. But I think in time, and hopefully not too far ahead in time, there will be some modest victories, modest celebrations. People are going to get their wish. And the resources, the Queen of Wands, and the resources are going to be made available to tackle this problem with the legislation and so hopefully this has brought people a bit of a measure of peace. My love and my positive energy goes out to everyone in America who, especially the people in El Paso at this time and the other two cities that were affected this week, and hopefully this problem can be solved the right way. Okay, love you all. See you at the next reading.